Emily. Alright, so I thought it would be easier to send you a video instead of typing it all out because I tend to use a crap ton of stuff on my face. Right now I actually have nothing on, and I don't know if you can see in the light. Look, I look way older than I want to. I got forehead wrinkles. I don't know when we got this old, but seriously, I do not like them. And see, I break out all the time, like right here and right here. Do you see this mean, ugly, angry thing on my face right now? That's horrendously ugly. But I pick up myself constantly. Like I was just picking at this one earlier. It's driving me nuts. So one of the really important things is, let me see if I have it. My teenager steals my stuff all the time. So before I put on my makeup, after I've washed my face and I've done the rinse and the vitamin E on it, I have this little tool right here. And this is a blackhead tool. And I literally go through my face and I scrape everything out of my face with this, like out of my nose. I don't know if you can see it. See how I get, like, I have really large pores and I get blackheads, like really, really, really bad. And I go through with this. This is what that's for. This ends for blackheads and this ends for everything else. And I pull as much possible out as I can. And then I go through with a toner. This is the toner that I use. It's great. I love it. And I just spray it on my face and kind of smooth it out and smooth it in. And then vitamin C. And I have a couple different types of vitamin C that I use. So this is the one that I'm currently using right now. And it doesn't take very much. I love it though. I've also have used let me get it. This right here. This is another one that I've used, and this is just like a regular serum, or this is more of a cream. So once that's all on, and my face is like, it's all dry on my face, I use an eye cream, and this is what I use right here. So right here. And it goes right just underneath my eyes. And then because you saw me as a teenager and stuff, but you never really saw me as an adult. Well, as a teenager, I was very thin. And then as an adult, I was very heavy. And I didn't take care of my skin like I should have. As a teenager, nobody told me anything about moisturizing. Everybody tend to leave that out. Everybody's so worried about pimples that I dried out my skin too much. I had great skin as a teenager. I didn't really break out, but my skin is super duper dry now and it overproduces oil because of it causing me adult acne. And because I gained weight and I break out a lot, I have to really watch what I use as far as makeup goes. And I am a big believer in highlighting and contouring. So this is what I use to highlight. It's right here. This is by L'Oreal, and it comes in 3 different shades. It comes in like, this is light, I believe. This is like light. There's a shade darker than this, and there's a shade that is lighter, or lighter than this. And then I use Wet n Wild's contouring palette for contouring, and Hard Candy. And this is just the Hula Hula shade. So if you're heavier and you're looking to highlight, what you do is, I'll show you. You highlight down your nose like this, just to the very tip of it right here, and you make like a half moon semicircle around your forehead, and then I go along my brows like this with the highlighter, and it's like this, and you just click it up and it pushes it up at the brush, and you literally just brush it on. And then you go underneath your eyes, and I literally go from here all the way right directly underneath my bottom lashes out to a point about here where my crow's feet are, and then I sweep it down in a semicircle, and then I bring this down straight and make like a semi-round triangle. And I do the same thing on this side. So I start at the tip of my eye and I bring it straight down, and then underneath my eyelashes out to about here, and then a semicircle down my cheek. And then I do, because even though I'm losing weight, I still have all this underneath here, and I don't want this to be focused on, and I want my chin to look smaller. So I do one line of highlighter right here, and then I highlight right here underneath in my Cupid's bow, and then literally I outline the outside of my lips, the lip liner. I have really full lips, so it's what I tend to try and accentuate. It's because nobody notices the green eyes because they're hazel, so I figured I'll just accentuate my green lips. And then once that's all smoothed out, I have a sponge like this, and I just go through with my finger and I kind of smooth it out first, and then I take a angled brush. This is just an e.l.f. professional bronzing brush. I like it because it's a small angle. I do have an angled face by Bare Minerals. This is an older brush though, and it's shedding, so I haven't really used it lately. But then I take my contouring, I take the dark right here, and I fill my brush up pretty good. And I start at top of my forehead, and you want to get it in your hairline just a little bit, and I brush it all the way down to like where that highlighter is. So I brush it all the way around and down my face, and I make sure you get all of this underneath here, because you want it to blend in. You don't want that war mask look. So all the way, and then I kind of a little heavier right here in the hollows of my cheeks. Right here I do a little bit heavier, and then here, and then I have I use Urban Decay brushes a lot. My makeup brushes are Urban Decay. So I take an angled brush. Let me see if I can find it. My stuff is all over the place. It is a mess. I'll tell you, you should see the sanity of mine. So I have this angled brush right here, and this is actually an eyeshadow brush, I believe. It's just an Urban Decay. It says Naked 3 on it. And I take the contour, and right here from the tip of my brow down my nose, and then around to the tip, and then same thing down this way and around my tip. And then because I like to make my nose look a bit smaller, because I think with my profile my nose looks pointy, so then I take it and I make a really small line about right here with it. And if you have spots like this, like my acne spots, before you put your highlighter or contour on, take a green neutralizer and put it on. So I use L'Oreal's Anti-Stress Magic right here. So if you have spots that are really red, you need to use a green neutralizer for it. Now, a lot of times I do wear primer before I start anything after my vitamin C. I'll put primer on my entire face. But lately, I'm producing a super high amount of oil, so I haven't been wearing primer. But if I do wear primer, a lot of times it's the CoverGirl Simply Ageless. It's a little bit thicker than normal primers or whatever, but it seems to work pretty good. Or I believe Revlon, I don't have any, I don't think at the moment. Revlon produces a primer too. It's just a clear primer. It's very good. It's very silky. If you have really large pores, primer is one of those things that you really want to use. So what you would do is you would put all your primer on your face first, then your green. You would just put it on your middle finger or your ring finger and just dab it on those spots. You don't want to like cover your whole face. Just dab it on those spots, and it'll kind of neutralize that red so it's not so bad. And then once I have my highlighter and my contour on, I take my sponge again, and you can see the bottom is all dirty, and I literally like pat it and blend it into each other by patting it. I don't swipe or circle or circular motions. I literally just pat, and just like this. So, and just blend it into each other. This is e.l.f.'s lip I can't speak. I'm sorry. Lip exfoliator. This is really good too. As you can see, it's quite used. So after I do the Andy at night, my lips will peel like crazy. So I literally just peel all of the dry, nasty skin off, and then I go through with this, and I barely open it at all like this, and I scrub the crap out of my lips with it. And then I just take a tissue and just wipe it all off. Then we'll take a primer and put a primer on my lips. It's my e.l.f. It's right here. So if you can see that. One side is a primer. It looks just like this. And then one side is a plumper like this. I really don't have to use this. This smells great though. This smells like peppermint. It makes me want to lick my lips, so I try not to use it too much because licking your lips is a bad habit you should never get into. Once my highlighter and everything is done, my eyeshadows are Urban Decay. I have palettes 1, 2, and 3, so they're called Naked. They're like this. This is number 2 and then 3. And it just kind of depends on the look that I'm going for. They're all different. These, one is like all the neutrals. Sorry if you can see that. And 2 is more of like the neutral tones with pinks in them. Let's see, can you see that? I'm trying not to get it with any glare. And then 3 is more purple, pinks, golds, that sort of thing. So that's the eyeshadow that I use. I do my highlighter, my contouring. Primer, highlighting, contouring, eyeshadow, and then after my eyeshadow is done, I do my lashes. This is what I double up on my lashes. Well, more than every once in a while. So I use this. This is another L'Oreal product. As you can see, I'm a big L'Oreal fan. It doesn't break me out. That's why I tend to use it a lot. So this is the double extend. So this is the primer. Even if you don't use one like this, you should go and find a good primer. So this will create tubes on the end of your eyelashes that make them look longer. So I normally do one eye and then go to the other eye, and then by the time I'm done with the second eye, the first eye's dry, I go over it one more time with this primer, and then I do the second step, which is the mascara. Now I have added lavender to my mascara. It tends to make it last longer. I just got a new bottle, and this is right here. So I just add a couple of drops into the mascara part of it, and it tends to make it last longer. It doesn't dry out as much, and it does help keep my eyelashes soft, my natural lashes soft. A couple of years ago, I burnt off all of this. As you can see, my hair is, still growing back and stuff. Don't ask, it was stupid. I was putting more wood into the smoker and the wind caught it, and it was a big fiasco. It was horrible. I just had my hair done that day, or I think the day before, and it was horrible. Anyways, moving on. So, once that is done, I go through, and this is Younique's 3D mascara. Now, you gotta kind of watch this using this, because it will give you what I call spider lashes, where they're all clumped together and you look like you have 4 just really fat eyelashes, and I hate that look. I think it's gross. I love the look of fake lashes, but I am so uncoordinated, I can't ever get them on myself. So this is the next best thing, and it is another 2-step process. So once your eyelashes are dry, I just kind of give them a few minutes, you go through, and it's a 2-step process. So you use the large one first, and it looks like a mascara, and it's actually a glue. So your entire eyelash, use this on your entire eyelash, and make sure you're really moving it. I tend to move my head instead of the wand, but make sure you're really moving this around and up when you're using it. And then one eye, do one full eye at a time. Once this is on, you go through, and here's your fibers, put your fibers on. I go over with the fibers 2 or 3 times, and then you go back with this on top of the fibers. Do one eye one eye at a time. See, I told you, I can't talk tonight. I don't know what the heck my problem is. For my blush is actually one of the cheapest things. It's e.l.f. again. This is the blush that I use this. And then this is actually CoverGirl. It's Clean Glow. It's a bronzer. It's very sad looking at the moment. It's a bronzer, but here's the back of it. And I do this one first, and then on top with this one. And this is my brush. It's just a Bare Minerals brush. It's just a basic. It's called Heavenly Face. And where you came down with that curve in your highlighter, right underneath that curve is where I put on my blush. So I literally just go from the hollow of my cheek up to about here, which is the top of my cheekbone. And I go straight up because I have a fuller face and I want to make it look smaller. So you either want to go straight this way, which I think that kind of looks odd, but that's just me in my opinion. So I tend to go up this way. So it brings your eye, when you're looking at me, it brings your eye up to my eyes and it makes my face seem thinner. So, and that's what I do with my blush. And then I go back over it with my sponge and I blend it into the bronzer underneath and the highlighter here. Now you don't want to bring it way far over this way or way far down. So I take the rounded part a lot of times and I kind of just like press it in. You know, I press it in and take a little bit off, and then I just go through and just with a slight sweep like this, pat it and blend it all in. That's pretty much it. You know, I don't do eyeliner on top of my eye. I'm just not coordinated enough to get the straight lines like I want. So I still do eyeliner on my water lines, which everybody's like, no, that's the wrong way. And a lot of people say, I just can't. I think it looks too heavy a lot of times when I'm going underneath my eyelashes or right at the edge of my waterline. So I still do it on my waterline. And it's just a cheap, it's just, you know, like this. It's just a CoverGirl, you know, eyeliner. I mean, there's nothing really special about it. This is the one I use most. This is Rimmel, actually, Hurricane Gray. And so instead of using black, I like to use gray or charcoal. I think that way it doesn't look so heavy, but I still have the definition. Now, for my lips, like I said, I go with the primer. So I put the primer on, and but before I put the primer on, I take Neosporin, and I take just a little bit, and I rub it into my lips, and then I take a medicated, I use Blistex medicated chapstick, and I rub it in really, really well. So Neosporin first, medicated Blistex next. Rub it all in, and because I've already used the exfoliator, so my lips should be all nice and smooth. And then a really good tip. I have really full lips, so I try not to make them look too much bigger. But if you have thin lips, like my sister, poor girl has no lips, and you want to make them look fuller, use a lip pencil in about a shade or two darker than your lipstick. And actually, I'll show you. So I'm going to do it with my brow pen, or actually so you can see. So see all of these, I don't know, whatever, I can't even think tonight. All these lines in your lips. So when you line your lips like this, right, go through and highlight all of these with a darker lip pencil. You want it a shade or two darker than whatever lipstick you're gonna wear, and literally just draw them on like that. It looks funky. Yes, I know. The reason why you do this is because when you put on your lipstick, which I don't have a lipstick that's going to match my brown eye pencil, but I'll give you an example. So what it's going to do is it's going to make it look like your lips are so full that they're puckering and they're pillowing out and they're creasing. So that's the word I was looking for, creases. See, I know I'd come around to it at some point. So it makes your lips look like they're creasing. So this is just Everlast Lip Lacquer by New York City. I don't ever use this as a lipstick. I normally use this as a lip highlighter, but you just... like that. Okay, so I don't know if you can really see it in the light. I can in my mirror that is above my phone, but there's just enough dark underneath that to make it look like my lips are very creased, which is what gives the definition of fuller lips. So if you want fuller looking lips, that's what you do. And then the most important step is the last step. Hang on a second. I gotta take this off, it's sticky. Most important step, and that is definitely not to be missed. If you do not use anything else that I've told you about tonight, this right here, Bare Minerals Mineral Veil, is a kiss of heaven. So it's just a regular mineral veil. They have this in illuminating. I have both. I tend not to wear the illuminating because it's kind of sparkly, and it kind of makes you look like glittery. It's great if you are I don't know, going to be in a dark area. Like if you work in a dark office, I think it'd be great for that. It would give you more of a highlight. But I take this and you put it into the lid. And then I have a Bare Minerals foundation brush. And it's just a basic soft focus brush. It's nothing overly, exciting. But you tap some of the Bare Minerals into the lid. And then you take this and you swirl it around kind of heavy. And then you tap off the excess back into the lid. And I always start at my cheeks, at the top of my cheeks right here, and I buffer it in this way, and then my nose, and then I make sure I get underneath my eyes kind of heavy, and then buffer it around. And I always do like half my face at a time, so then my forehead, and I buffer it around this way, and then this way, and then down. And I always make sure I get like my chin and underneath on my neck, and right here at the back of my base of my ear. And then I do the same thing under the other side. And I start here and I buffer it this way. And then underneath my eye. And then my forehead and my nose. Make sure you get like your actual nose like here. I think a lot of girls forget that. And around your lips and stuff. Make sure you put your lipstick on last, by the way. Just so you know. So you don't get lipstick all over your brushes. It's really nasty to get out and get off. But this is 99% of what people are always like, oh my gosh, your skin is so clear and porcelain looking. No, it's not. I have wrinkles, I have crow's feet, I have forehead wrinkles, I have acne, I have horrible blackheads, and I have super duper dry skin. This right here is like a touch of heaven. Seriously, it's wonderful. But that is my makeup routine. I know this video is kind of long. I'm really sorry. I didn't really mean for it to be like 25 minutes long. But it is. I think that's pretty much my routine. If you have any questions, let me know.